What's happening, gamers? What's happening, Green Hill Radio? Welcome to the next exciting episode of the podcast here. You know what I'm gonna like? I don't know. We can pass the phone.
Do you want to move down there because there's music playing over there?
Nah, it's not bad. It's whatever.
It's gonna be ambient soundtrack.
Yeah, sure.
Podcast.
Last time there was kind of almost like a Mass Effect-y sounding techno kind of thing playing on it, so it was it wasn't too bad. It was funny.
Okay.
But I've got that video game footage of Fallout that I was talking about recording over, playing finally. These were such failed attempts at making a video that I was but at the same time I spent an hour just for basically it to turn out like crap, so I was I want to save the footage and use it for something. But anyway, got 1,000 members now in Green Hill Radio, and I got to post a video the other day that was pretty funny. I hope the audio's picking up. We've got 1,000 members now in Green Hill Radio.
Yeah,
that's a good spot right here. So I thought it was pretty funny to get to post a video about Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse little virtual reality world there. You want to know what's funny about it? We outnumber them. Mark Zuckerberg's billion-dollar multiverse virtual reality meta garbage there only has 900 active participants.
What?
Yeah. My goofy group with I was saying, I should make a meme where it's just a blank sheet of paper picture with an outline drawn on it, a squiggle outline, and it says, look in that outline. That's where a shoestring could be if you subscribe. That's the budget.
I remember he was showcasing something and the video wasn't playing.
Yeah.
Was that about the metaverse? Or?
Yeah. All those videos where you got a character walking around that looks like a Xbox 360 avatar on your home page. That's the metaverse.
No, it's stupid. Facebook is horrible. Most social media is really just to dumb people down.
Facebook is what it is. It's a phone book, it's a contact list, it's a photo gallery, it's a means of sharing information.
It's basically a news feed designed to manipulate people's mental health while surveilling them.
That's the gamification
manipulating their
of
ideas.
What else are you going to do, though? We sit here and we go, and Sean Parker, too. I suppose there is timing where they sit there and something you said gets a like, and then they hold on to that for 45 minutes until it looks like you're about to log off, and then they send it to you in your notifications so that you get back on. You see what I'm saying? There's something like that. But as far as...
I didn't know about the delay. But...
No, I'm speculating. Because it's all right, endorphins and reward center hacking and all that kind of stuff.
Well, they're trying to make it mostly bots now.
Well, yeah.
Which is just... I want to say the word ridiculous, but it's incomprehensible levels of stupid is what it is.
You're not trying to, it's just happening.
The human population is just going to decline in anything. At the point of where they are using all of this social media, and it's just always on people's minds, they can't use their phone without it. It's really a problem. So
what you're saying is the meme of people Gen Z trying to eat without YouTube, and it just shows a guy staring at his plate. Because their reward centers are so hacked and messed up, it's not good for you to eat while watching shorts. Basically, is you're double messing up your reward center, right? something I've
It
heard.
shouldn't be a reward center, and that's the thing. I used to use it just like Facebook. I used to use it for writing lyrics and stuff.
All right, but so the idea that you're getting at is like, all right, so what? You know, we're gonna have a generation that's so addled by social media. That
We're gonna have a
they can't
generation.
even
It
fuck-
is that humanity is like under a spell of conditioning about social media.
Gen whatever in the future, trying to bang without YouTube.
It's like Gen AA, right? That's the next one. Generation A was what? I don't know.
But no, it's all.
But it has to restart. It has to be AA now.
Huh.
And they're not even gonna know what AA batteries are.
Well, I think it's kind of funny how we went from, like, we go from what? What do you call it exactly? Civil War generation, the World War I generation. Screw the World War I generation for whatever reason. Some reason we call the World War II generation the greatest generation. In the World War I generation, they can just kick rocks. And then for whatever reason, the World War II generation's kids get named after a fallout in the Vegas faction, the Boomers. And then their kids are Gen X, and now we're in Greek letters alphabet territory
Yeah,
for
it
some reason. What
skipped
happened?
a lot of the alphabet and went to whatever.
Even worse track
I
than
don't know.
Final Fantasy sequels.
It's kind of sad though to try to keep track of the population based on wars. That's literally normal. Like, oh, this is the World War II generation. Like, is it?
Bro, that's so funny. What you thought about that?
You know, I think consumerism and, like, especially people who live in America are very desensitized to what would happen in another country.
You know, I meant to segue into a video game conversation with the whole Mark's metaverse only having 900 users thing, not an existential crisis.
So the metaverse, it's like a VR video game
Yeah,
of social media. How does that work?
it's like first person The Sims plus business meetings.
Oh yeah, I saw
Absolute
some of
vodka.
the graphics or whatever for it, and apparently it looked
Yeah, well,
really
that's
horrible.
something. Yeah, well, yeah. It looks like the world that your Xbox 360 avatar lived in
Yeah.
2010. You know, so.
Well,
And the other thing is
the
like.
Mii's of the Wii were like kind of like the Xbox
Well, so
avatar.
yeah, all right. But so you walk around doing. You got the Wii characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same. It's literally the same thing. So I don't know, man, what he thought he was going to do with that. Like, he had all the Facebook employees trying to walk around doing business meetings in the metaverse. Like, why? You're already in an office building.
Honestly, I feel like it could be a distraction project from the fact that Facebook is becoming more and more encumbered by bots and just like low quality content.
Well, I guess they made all the money they lost on the metaverse back through ad revenue, so now they're just doubling down on it, even though it's only got freaking 900 people using it.
I'm just saying, if they have money in it and it only has 900 people, then it just seems like it's not a real business venture for them, even if he was promoting it. I think maybe they don't want to lose investors on other things that they know are losing quality.
I think they want to, as vestigial as it is, they want to hold on to it because the VR headsets sell pretty good. So
Well, the VR headsets are supposed to be moving into just glasses, right?
Well, yeah. So if you can keep the metaverse alive long enough to get it a desperately needed graphical improvement, and so that you don't have to strap a whole VHS cassette tape player to your face in order to use it.
No, well, I saw there are some very good VR glasses now, but that's basically the appeal of having a VR headset. Which is VR headsets are often like too bulky.
My thing with it is, so you buy a virtual house next to Snoop Dogg.
Oh, there's apps like that now.
No, I mean, but
Yeah.
that's what, like Snoop Dogg is supposed to be on Facebook, chilling in his virtual house, and you can buy a house next to his house.
The metaverse has virtual real estate.
That's what the whole point of it is.
Oh, well, there's like 3 or 4 apps I've seen that are like that. Where it's like, oh, if you buy this plot of land, then it'll go up in value
What
later
you
on.
have to imagine is that those apps are progressively, exponentially more dumb than the metaverse.
Well, it's like the new form of the NFT.
The metaverse is like a big, huge billion-dollar company with experience, a big organization, Facebook trying to do it. So why would you know what I mean? Like your little generic app, that's even more of a sucker's gambit to try to invest in.
I think they kind of look at it like Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
In the sense that when you visit a location, you could like have some kind of social media thing.
Who wants to walk around Facebook?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So you got office
But
buildings.
if they
business
incorporate it
meetings
into
happening.
commerce, like if they incorporate commerce into it,
Like there's an Absolute vodka store. That's what I'm. Yeah, you're saying what like you got office buildings to have business meetings in. You have retail stores in case you wanted to walking simulator your way through Amazon shopping and browsing. All right. And then you got houses, so you can go visit Snoop Dogg, right? Okay, but now here's a fundamental. I don't know if you have any cars in the metaverse. If you don't get to like traverse it for real. Maybe there's portals that transport you to Snoop Dogg's house. All right. See what I'm getting at here?
yeah, that sounds ridiculous.
No, well, if it was Grand Theft Auto Online, this is what I'm getting at the end of the day, is that what is the point of buying a virtual house next to Snoop Dogg if you can't have a gunfight with him? There's no guns in the metaverse?
If there's no further like video game integration, I guess.
Why would Snoop Dogg even like spend any time in there if there's nothing really to do? Like
Makes no sense. But yeah, I don't really care what they want to do, and that's it. Whatever Mark Zuckerberg is up to, is probably not as important as what I want for people. Right? So,
the kind of taekwondo that an 8th grade, an 8-year-old girl does. Trust in Mark Zuckerberg. He is a human and drinks water like everybody else.
but so the cool thing, and what would kind of tank the gaming market, is if they had VR glasses that aren't very expensive, right? Just like basic displays. They don't have to be really high quality. You can make them for like $70 maybe, right? Like what's the cost of a screen? But you have to have the software mode to split the screen so that it's like a dual lens. And then to have a Bluetooth gaming controller, and you can cloud stream games. That's basically
So the
what
thing
any
is
gamer
that
does.
like, the thing is that consoles don't sell consoles. The thing that's always brought people over to hardware has been the games itself. And so the main
But then some of the
problem-
games don't use the full hardware.
But the main problem that I see with VR is 99% of the games are garbage.
Well, that's not really the point of what it is that I look at it the way I do, because I have a Steam library of like over 500 games, right? So if I could just pull Steam up and go to a VR mode, my problem with that is that it has to be over the internet or it has to be directly connected to a PC.
But they're just not good games.
No, I'm saying any game. Like if you can port any game into a dual display of the two lenses, and you can use a Bluetooth controller. The thing is, most phones don't have that capability. There's a NVIDIA phone that can split the screen. So it's like you split the screen by default for any app that you use. And
Yeah, but most
phones aren't at that point for some reason. Software probably.
Like most games, you're not gonna kind of like defeating the point of VR. Even if you are playing something like Grand Theft Auto, you know, unless you say port, that's too easy of a concept to use that simplistic of a term for this. You have to modify the hell out of the game to make it be worth it. Why the hell? You know what I mean? You'd rather just sit on your couch and play Grand Theft Auto with a big TV.
It's not the game itself that has to really be modified as much.
No, yeah, it is, because your character's arm needs to move when you move your arm.
No, so it's basically, you don't have to do it from the game itself. It's like if you had a resolution for your display, but you turn your entire computer into a thing that has dual display. So on the surface, I think they're using an excuse about not being able to split the screen because of the fact that it actually just has to be like a display. It's basically like a display driver, right? So whereas you could split the screen of a phone if you had a phone like an NVIDIA phone that has a software that can do that, or you had root permission on Android.
Like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, what's one ingredient as to why all the VR games are garbage? All right. You don't have arms. Oh, you need to program the game to move the arms and da da da. You don't have arms. Most of the time, it's just a pair of hands floating. This is VR. You're supposed to be immersed. Well, it's not very good for my immersion.
Oh yeah.
When my character just has a pair of floating
They
hands.
could easily add arms though.
All right. I don't think they could though.
No, because
then you have to have such a fluid-like equation and algorithm to, you know, animate and predict it basically, like, it's not a set list of animations like you got a list of emotes. You basically have to, you know, on the fly kind of calculate how you're going to represent the way the guy's moving his arm.
I don't mean it that way. I mean, like,
but I do.
That makes sense, right? But if it's less integrations of how you use the motion sensor, then that's basically it. Like, Half-Life is a really good example of something that would have like a movement. It's like
Alex?
minuscule movement, right?
Half-Life Alex, I think it was the one that was
I forgot
VR.
about that. I meant like the original Half-Life 1.
Yeah.
And it doesn't like show it doesn't show the orange HEV suit as much as like it's not like a huge thing, but it's enough to where it makes sense that it exists, right?
Okay, thank you. Okay.
But I haven't played a lot of VR games. I just see the fact that they have a market for hundreds and hundreds of dollars of headsets, where if there was a very simplified version, just glasses, the display, it doesn't have to be a high quality display all the way through. And it would be feasible. So there's already a way. If I were to get like a specific headset for PC, I could pull up Steam, and I don't want to use motion sensor stuff. The ideal way of doing VR would be just have a Bluetooth controller, right? Like an Xbox controller, and be able to see it like it's a like it's a movie theater screen on your
All right,
eyes.
like, but the thing is that you already have Red Dead Redemption 2 and Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain, and we got GTA 6 coming.
Mm-hmm.
All right, like, I don't know. Maybe it's gotten better. I don't count really ports though. Like, Half-Life Alyx itself was developed specifically for VR, so it doesn't have all the kind of weirdness that a port would have, where, like, you know, you're just, because it's not programmed to facilitate you moving
Sure.
to copy it. All right. Most of the time, these VR games don't have anywhere near the graphics. Like, in order to sell me on VR, I want what I'm seeing, because it's all about the novelty of being in a space and moving your character around. So usually the graphics are pretty crappy. And I think even Half-Life Alyx did the arm thing where you just had a pair of hands floating around.
Yeah.
But so I need at least Red Dead Redemption 2 level graphics and world immersion to
For it to be
justify it. Like,
interesting
what
enough.
is?
But look, the thing is,
I would rather sit on my couch and have a big TV and play RDR2, Red Dead Redemption 2, or GTA 6, or Metal Gear Solid 5, than have some really poorly animated, poor graphics, stick figure type character with floaty hands, just for the novelty of feeling it like I'm in VR.
well, I don't really care about the world immersion aspect of it because, okay, so the way I look at it, you have graphic settings or whatever quality settings in a game. Hold on. All right, so, whoa. So basically, if you understand, like if you're playing Call of Duty Zombies, right? And you just had a display, it's gonna be as high quality as the game looks normally on like your TV, whatever. Like you don't need a 4K
Yeah, that's
TV.
that's why I brought up the programming. That, yeah, but Call of Duty Zombies isn't programmed to be VR. You're gonna be doing the whole.
It doesn't need to be.
It does though.
No, not if you have the right headset.
Like all you're gonna be doing, like, you can't do anything.
You don't need motion
The
tracking?
character is gonna have its stock animations, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
what's
don't-
the point?
because-
Just play it normal. I'm
because
not
it's still-
strapping a VHS
No, because it's still
tape
up
to my
close.
face.
The thing is, it's up close.
VCR.
So it's not a.
It's
not
first
a thing.
person, but this is the laziest possible. I'm talking about dedicated, actual VR where there's a point to wearing it. I can turn the lights off in my room. I don't need a frickin' headset.
Okay. Well, that's your
I'm not a
opinion,
PC
but
gamer. I don't have 10,000 neon lights glowing around my box that's bigger than the monitor I play the games on.
all right. I'm just saying it's cooler if you had a way that even if it's not like motion tracking, that you can still play whatever game you
The
want.
fundamental fact is that it takes so much computing power to calculate and come up with the animations on the fly to represent your arms moving and just your arms moving, that the graphics have to be absolute garbage. on dedicated VR games where there's actual features there, like interacting with objects and picking stuff up, and for instance, you swing a sword a certain way. And
maybe
physics are
they'll
copied.
integrate AI with that in a way that's
Like,
that will change the animation so it's like a softer transition.
yeah, that could be a generative AI, probably could be a thing, maybe, but like saying, oh, you know, like no, porting, VR needs its own stuff. Its games need to, let's not, I don't care how many.
For motion tracking VR, yeah.
There's no point to non-motion tracking VR.
So there is, and I'll explain exactly what that is,
Sit
because
closer to your TV, turn the lights off.
watching a music video in YouTube back like 7 years ago, let's say, they used to have something called Google Cardboard, but basically YouTube had a split screen mode where you can have a plastic VR headset, you put your phone in it,
Yeah, I remember that.
and
Nobody ever used it because it's a goofy ass
no,
novelty
it's
with
actually
no real
it's
point
actually
to it.
really cool. I've watched music videos in it, and it's very clear in like video games in that VR mode, and it looks really really good. But they got rid of it from YouTube itself.
Yeah, because
Not because people weren't using it.
I have never seen a single human being in the wild. You are the first person I've ever met over the course of my entire life who even like remembers or has spoken words about that. Like,
If you haven't watched
nobody
videos
ever-
if you haven't watched like music videos in VR, then you have a very different perspective
It's
than
not,
what it is.
I haven't heard somebody talk about that since like 2013. I have never in my life heard somebody ever bring it up.
It's probably because people think it's not as good as it is, but it's really good. If you had like a full-on VR headset that you could plug into something, I'm sure it would look better. But just the display, like if you can magnify your phone and just look at it through a VR headset, that's really
I'm
good.
gonna go order that like triple cheeseburger too. Wait until.
Oh, you didn't order it yet?
Yeah, no. I just kind of got like whatever.
Yeah, I'm
you
gonna
know.
get fries and I have rewards points for something. I might get an ice cream. I was kind of thinking a burger, but I might get an ice cream. But so, this the thing of like watching music videos in VR is really good. And I would never say that it's not worth it. Like, to appreciate the art of what a good music video is, if you really
Hold the
care
phone
about that.
really close to my face. Is it even one of those things where the
No, dude,
gyro
the
in your
display looks
phone
huge.
lets it move around?
Oh yeah, sure.
Because that's the only
Yeah,
reason why
that's
it
part of the
seems there
app.
being
So
any
so
benefit to
the
that.
VR app uses the phone sensor to detect the gyroscope, but you don't even need that. Like, I'm just saying, like if you were laying down with like a VR headset on, just a plastic one, and it magnifies the screen, it's really good.
What else in gaming news have you heard today?
Oh, I just I don't know if it was Ubisoft or Bethesda,
I got
but
a vape. You want to go out and hit my vape a few times?
I don't vape at all.
No.
Oh no. Okay, so there was a fraud scheme of some guy who stole like hundreds of millions of dollars.
From what?
Gaming startup. So he made people believe that he had no board of investors, but yet he was recruiting investors, and that he funded it himself. Ashes of Creation. So it's a company called Ashes of Creation. It's like was run by one guy who basically stole like over $100 million and just spent it on like partying. And
I heard of
eventually,
this.
the investors were...
Either that or it's just happened more than once.
Yeah, well, the investors were like concerned and figured it out.
You said
Then-
this is GoFundMe type stuff?
It was called Kickstarter.
Oh, yeah,
But
Kickstarter.
Kickstarter was like a very small
I
percentage
know.
of it. The actual thing is like Kickstarter was a very minuscule for its launch. They got to the point of the game launch.
They had funding from other places?
Yeah, like he had a lot of investors, but made it seem to the public that he was putting the most money down on it. And then the investors started looking into it and figured out like he's lying that there's no board of investors. So there are people telling him what to do for his game.
Huh.
And then it got to the point where they're like, we have like a limited amount of time before launch. Is the game going to launch or not?
Well, so he's created like a secondary board of investors basically by going like, all right, I don't have any investors, but I'm willing to put up this much money that he got from the actual board of investors while he scams everybody
but he had
else.
houses.
That's
So
crazy.
he's basically like leveraging
What
his
was the
house.
game supposed to be?
I don't, maybe the game's called Ashes of Creation. $140 million fraud. Yeah. The guy's name is Steven Sheriff.
Stephen Share.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
But so, I think they made it look like there was like a few $1 million invested. At the point of the launch, they're like, we're not sure if it's going to actually launch or not. So if it does launch, then it launches. If not, then it's going to be that they get the game released and that people will be able to play it, and so the players won't have a problem with it. Well, it got to the point where he had stolen so much money out of these investments that he got to a point where they had to, like, they were about to lay off like 45 employees at their company. And at that point, there's like no return on investment for the investors until the launch. And the guy basically was like, I can't just lay off all these people. So then it started tumbling down to where they basically found out like all of these investors were getting scammed.
We'll start a GoFundMe for 50 pounds of McDonald's.
50 pounds?
Yeah. I
So
don't
like
know,
they have
I
to
just
weigh the
want
bags.
to like come up with a random like increment, random amount. Something stupid though. Like start a GoFundMe for something.
Well, there's a
stupid.
price range for how much that's worth, because you could get like a bunch of Big Macs, or you could get fries, and then you can count the calories.
There should be a. This is something I was saying is like, you know, back when Elon was talking about getting rid of all the woke shit in gaming. And I was like, oh, come on. There was of course, what, Saudi Arabia and, Steve Bannon or somebody else buying Activision, Call of Duty or whatever. And it was like, all right, you know, as long, like,
There's a guy who got into a car crash.
yeah, it was like one
Was
of the
that
Call
the
of Duty.
CEO?
Yeah, that was one of the Call of Duty creators. But so all the microtransaction stuff in Call of Duty was frickin' Jeffrey Epstein's idea. All the stupid like putting American Dad in there and Nicki Minaj and microtransactions. All that crap was frickin' Jeffrey Epstein's idea. He was meeting with Activision people like this. Dude, what the hell? Yeah, so people think that guy dying had something to do with Epstein.
I mean, anyone could have thought of it, but look, there's just like way too much stuff that's about these Epstein files.
Yo.
It feels like it's not like real life.
Dude, 3 million files. We got another 3 million coming, dude. Like I put up a video before we came here showing my Facebook Reels algorithm is just one insane Epstein thing after another. I must have posted like 60 different Reels and recorded however many in the video. Like everybody, like dude, so many different people. You know, usually when when Facebook shows me one reel after the other on the same subject, it's just showing me like the same content creator, or a handful of them. This is like dozens and dozens and dozens of different people, like really like everybody with a fucking
For it to actually be
channelers.
millions of files doesn't really make sense to me.
How he's doing this stuff for like 30, 40 years.
It's millions of files.
It's we've got the first half is 3.5 million files. The
I
second
wonder
half
if they
is
could like AI generate some evidence of whatever for like a portion of these files and just see what happens. Because millions of files does not make sense. That's millions. Okay, it's not thousands, it's not tens of thousands, it's not hundreds of thousands, it's millions.
Yeah.
Once you have millions of files, it doesn't make sense to me. Not about one guy and a bunch of guys around him. That's millions of files. That makes no sense.
Well, he was a Israeli Mossad CIA operative. This was a honeypot operation.
How normal is it for
Israel.
this?
You've got a whole island complex. You've got all these people coming and going. You've got decades worth of emails flowing. Hey, 3 million, 6 million.
I don't even know what Mossad is, but I think it's like a Middle Eastern terrorist organization.
Yeah, you're about right there.
Okay.
No, it's the Israeli version
So
of the CIA.
somehow it's normal that the CIA has Mossad and
the
whatever.
reason
Like
why-
it's just normal.
So the reason why we had to, had so much procrastination with the release of the files is like that's why. Because it's a CIA Israeli intelligence operation.
So how
and basically,
how dumb would someone have to be to trust that it's not disinformation?
So the idea is that Epstein at some point went off the rails. He was never supposed to use underage girls, and he started building this whole infrastructure off on the side.
It's just crazy. I mean, it's
Because
unbelievable.
Look, so the United States of America, our intelligence agencies do not do Red Sparrow honeypot operations, where you use a girl to blackmail somebody, right? Israel does do that. So that's what his operation was, finding these women to...
Israel in quotes does that. Because
whatever. Israel does
anything that they can proxy.
So... Yeah, exactly. So we're proxying. We're pulling the old Pfizer court warrant, get MI5 to spy on Trump routine. You can't, so...
It's literally like they can just say that they're doing something, but it's in a different area, right? And then just say that there's other people involved in it. And so why should I ever trust that there's not disinformation floating around anywhere that they're releasing the files, right?
You got frickin' you got pictures coming out supposedly of Epstein chilling in Israel. His Fortnite gamer tag is still online, coming out of Tel Aviv.
Jeffrey Epstein's Fortnite account?
Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein had a Minecraft, of course, because it's always Minecraft or Roblox. Jeffrey Epstein had a Minecraft account with like a few videos where he was like, yeah, this is how you get started for a good playthrough in Minecraft. And then he had like a Fortnite account that he played Fortnite on all the time. And so they're looking at the login history of the Fortnite account, and it's like, all right, logged in, playing the game, drops off and never logs in during the entire time that Epstein is in jail. And then relatively like a few months after his supposed death, it comes back online.
Well, people could change like a
that's
gamer
what,
tag,
that's
whatever.
what Fortnite said, but I can't remember how exactly it worked, but essentially the gist of what that response amounted to was, you're BSing,
I have a story for you. So, remember Bradley Manning and how he went to Guantanamo Bay?
No.
So, basically, it was like 14 years ago or something, maybe 13 years ago. There was a guy who exposed drones being, or not drones, but like, well, actually, maybe drones. But they were basically shooting down civilians in the Middle East, right? So some guy went to WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, and reported it to them. And he leaked a video of the civilians being shot down by a plane or a drone. So the guy's name is Crazy Horse 18. That's like his military name. I saw this video on YouTube and I was like, you know what? This guy, Bradley Manning, just went to Guantanamo Bay. They even tortured him to split his identity, that he would change his name to Chelsea Manning. And apparently the public can't figure that out, but that's what they did. They tortured him and just like mind controlled him into that.
And he was shooting down friendlies?
Okay, so there was, I think it was Army that was shooting down civilians in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Bradley Manning sent the video of that because they had video of what they were doing.
What does that have to do with what we were talking about?
Because what it was that you were talking about, Jeffrey Epstein on Fortnite.
Yeah.
This guy, Crazy Horse 18, I found him on Steam.
Oh.
And I found his original Steam account, which was like, his name, Crazy Horse 18, was on the Steam account before that video was released. So he was the actual person who shot down those civilians.
Oh.
And so I was asking him about why he did it. And he basically said that he didn't care. And that he would have just done it again. So like this guy admitted that he takes pride in killing innocent civilians in the Middle East.
He said he didn't care.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, you gotta care in order to get out of bed in the morning. If you didn't care, you wouldn't have gotten out of bed in the morning and shot a bunch of people down.
No, he just takes pride in it. He's like, oh yeah, like if people threw bottles at me because I'm a veteran or whatever, like I don't care about whatever this is. So he basically just like admitted that a guy got sent to Guantanamo Bay because this guy doesn't care about what he did.
Anyway, let's try to round about.
Sorry, that was kind of a long-winded explanation. I just wanted to get to the point of it.
I'm just thinking of how off the beaten path from the topic of video games we've gotten. Freaking
Well, still video games.
Yeah, sure.
It's video games with like drones.
What are let's make it easier. What are the top 5 games you're looking forward to?
Metal Gear Solid 7.
Metal Gear Solid 7.
Yeah.
What's that gonna be?
Well, after they release the 6th one, they're gonna come out with the 7th one, and it's gonna be just
You're
as
not
good.
counting.
Actually, there's Metal Gear Solid 4 is
That
being
sounds
put.
like.
Wait. It's gonna come out on PlayStation 4 and 5 and PC.
You're
And
not
Xbox.
counting Survive. That's stupid
No,
garbage.
they're releasing another collection. You remember, like there was a collection that was released.
Yeah.
They're coming out, not the HD collection, but there was like
you're not
another
talking
one,
about
Legacy
straight up
collection.
sequels. You're talking about remasters, basically.
Well, I was joking about Metal Gear Solid 7, but I was like thinking about that, and then remembered there's a Legacy collection, Volume 2. And it's got Metal Gear Solid 4 and Peace Walker.
Here, keep going. I'm gonna order my.
So Metal Gear Solid 4 was released on PS3 in I think 2007 or 2008, probably 2008, and it was like a good selling point. Good selling point for the PS3, but they didn't put it on 360. Kojima said because it's like a bunch of DVDs you would need for 360, whereas PS3 has Blu-ray, which has more storage capacity. And so I think they said it would be like 30 DVDs or whatever. And it's kind of funny because there was a time where I remember some people who had Blu-ray DVDs. Anyway, a lot of people were pushing for it to be released on PC or Xbox, and so for a long time it kind of stayed a PlayStation exclusive. And so you could ask, how is it that it was like a literal PlayStation exclusive, not for marketing reasons, but because of the storage capacity of a DVD or a Blu-ray DVD versus a normal DVD. But anyway, it's a good game. And Peace Walker, which was actually included in the HD collection, which came out a long time ago. So Peace Walker's included with MGS4 now. And the release date for it is sometime this year. But as I am not like super impressed that they haven't made another game for the full series yet, I still think it's cool that they're going to be putting out MGS4. But I think MGS5, if they had 4 more like 5 with an open world mechanic, that would be pretty cool. But yeah, so you have Peace Walker because you have the HD collection.
Yeah.
So they're releasing Peace Walker, but for like PS4, PS5.
Oh yeah.
But MGS4 is like the first, it's like the first time that's being re-released since PS3.
I'm gonna forbid myself from saying Grand Theft Auto 6 because that's cheap and given. New Mass Effect, rumors of.
Oh, the new Mass Effect?
Yeah, but
Mass Effect 3 was there already?
Well, we had 3 and we had Garbage Andromeda.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's really funny when the reporting on it first started. It was probably like last year. Little whispers of a Mass Effect in development started floating around in videos, and every other video went back and forth between calling it Mass Effect 4 and Mass Effect 5 because like people weren't sure whether or not to count Andromeda, and I just thought that was great.
Yeah,
But
Andromeda came out
shouldn't count
2017.
Andromeda. Yeah, that was like, it was like Far Cry in space. It was like Ubisoft checklist in space.
Yeah, I got Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which was like I think 1 and 2, but it's like HD remastered. And I got it on Steam and just didn't play it, but it's over 100 gigabytes.
Yeah, the Legendary Edition for the PlayStation 4. Put that in. I had it in the PS4 Pro, and eventually I'll get the PS5 Pro, and that'll surely look pretty good running on the PS5 Pro.
Yeah, that game's bigger than it's at least like 1.5 times bigger than Metal Gear Solid 5, right?
What, Mass Effect?
Yeah. Or like
what
1
terms?
and 2 combined, maybe. I don't know. I thought it was like over 100 hours of gameplay.
I would say maybe 3 is like, I don't know. I feel like you can fart around in Metal Gear Solid a lot longer.
Yeah.
Mass Effect, regardless of it being an RPG, it's not open world, so it's relatively linear. So, eventually, you see what I'm saying? Like, you can't really do the kind of farting around and just redoing missions.
It
and
has
stuff.
a lot more dialogue than Fallout, though, right? Like, I
I
thought it
wouldn't
had really
say
long
that.
cutscenes. I was watching someone stream it a while ago.
Yeah, I mean, like it has a lot. It like its dialogue is a lot better than Fallout 4. I wouldn't say. I would say probably has around the same amount of dialogue as the Fallout games tend to have. I would say that the original trilogy, your save file from the first game loads into the second game. When you
Oh, that's how it works?
yeah, so that's what was one of the things that was really awesome about is
That's a
you
really
install
cool
the
idea.
first game onto your 360, right? And then a few years later, Mass Effect 2 came out, and you loaded that up, and as long as you still had that original save file on your 360, it imported your character, and it remembered all your decisions, and it would change the story
Wow.
around to reflect that, and you were like, holy crap. And then Mass Effect 3 comes out not too long, right? And you go, the same deal. You import your character from Mass Effect 2 to Mass Effect 3 and all the decisions and stuff.
Is that
It was
the only series that's like that?
I don't know. There's got to be some other games that do that, but it's not a very common thing. And they they broke the chain there with Mass Effect Andromeda. But that was one of the many things that was really epic about it.
Well, that's like
But
a
so-
true video game
But
series.
that makes it feel like one game. And
Yeah,
so if you want to count all three as a singular thing,
I feel like Fallout should have done that. It would have been seamless, like really good.
I would love to see a mod or a version of Fallout, or even down the road. Maybe you get some kind of a fan-made server, right? Here's the idea, though. You have a server basically, and you can plug the maps of Fallout into it. So say you got a blank country outline. You plug in Fallout 3, now you got the DC map, and it's DLCs, so Point Lookout and the pit is Pittsburgh, right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got Fallout New Vegas, that makes Arizona, right? Fallout 4 is Boston. So we say down the line, let's say we start getting Final Fantasy sequel-ish with 10 frickin' games, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about the map filling in eventually and being interconnected so that you could walk from Fallout 3 to New Vegas.
You know what? I think like the best kind of video game would be something that can carry your progress over from games before and like after, like a continuation. But also, if it were fully customizable, like custom maps and custom weapons and stuff, I was just thinking like if there was a Metal Gear Solid style thing where there were custom maps, that would be awesome. There's Tomb Raider, like the old Tomb Raider games from like PlayStation. There's a level editor, and there's a huge community of people who like make entire Tomb Raider games, and they're really good quality. And so something like that. And for example, Call of Duty Black Ops 3 that has the custom zombie maps on Steam Workshop, that's unique to what it is, that there's no other Call of Duty game that has that. They didn't release a way of doing that for like Xbox or PlayStation, but it's still something that's whatever. Like if there's a certain kind of map that you want to play, you just download it, you can play it.
I feel like Wendy's is a bit quieter than McDonald's. McDonald's, it sounds like we're in a freaking hospital right now. I bet our audio's garbage.
Every time I hear those beeps,
I think I'm in a hospital.
well, I'm just like, thank God I'm not in a hospital.
Eat more McDonald's, you'll wind up there.
Yeah, that's really actually funny.
Oh my God, dude, that just made me think of this crazy like story out of Canada with the freaking The euthanasia stuff. We'll save that for another video. Let's stay on video games. Forget I brought that
The
up.
youth in Asia?
Yeah,
You mean
the
like,
youth,
you mean
not
like
the-
the kids?
Yeah, the kids in Asia. Ah, my
The
God.
youth in Asia and Canada.
Yeah. um. Yeah. So, freaking. You know what's funny? I'm looking forward to seeing if GTA 5 does a DLC at all. Like, I mean, GTA 6. Are we just done with expansion
No.
packs? We're never gonna get any more expansion packs
They
because they're
will
just gonna stay
definitely-
focused on stupid ass
No,
GTA Online.
they're gonna have like a microtransaction system like GTA 5 with the online currency, and then they're gonna probably expand it somehow. I don't know if it would be like a map, but look at what it is. GTA 6 could be like the most sold video game of all time.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm just talking about like, you know, what was it? It was only 4 that we got DLCs with. We got the Ballad of Gay Tony and the Lost and the Damned, and those were almost entire, you know, GTA games in and of themselves.
I confuse those with like the Liberty City stories.
Yeah, because it was called Liberty City Stories.
Yeah, whatever
The
it
pack
is. Like
was
I've
called
heard of
Liberty
that.
City Stories.
I like the GTA 4 multiplayer. I used to just like play one airport map. It was a lot of fun. Like the running mechanic of it, just like some of the movement, was a lot of fun. I played that on PC. But GTA 5, it's not like really bad. It's just it feels kind of slow.
What do you mean?
Like it feels at least like 1.5 times slower than another GTA game.
I feel like GTA 5 and 4 are about the same speed. Of
Well,
course, you know.
for example,
What are you talking about? Like character animations, moving around, how the character feels to move around with?
well, that and like the fact that you can't just like steal a car right away. Like,
do you mean?
like, okay, so
you got to do that first mission there with Lamar. That's really holding you up.
not only. Oh well, GTA 5. Well,
Yeah.
I was thinking of online because I started online. I didn't like the first mission, how it's like locked into that. Although I thought it was like kind of cool, like after you get out of that
Try to buy a
area.
cigarette off of her.
But I didn't like the fact like you can't just like carjack someone right
Online.
off the online because the cars would just like run you over. So yeah, I played GTA 5 online on Xbox Cloud Gaming, and so it starts off. You have to like basically buy your bunker and whatever resources for online, and it's not even fully online yet. It's like preparation for joining the online server. And I got like a really expensive like bike or whatever, which is cool. It's really fast. But then got off the bike and tried to get into another car, and it's like the cars just run you over.
Price that K2 shit.
What?
No, they're smoking that K2 shit up.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that like any of that like lab stuff just changes formula. Like whatever it was 10 years ago, it's probably like not even.
Oh, that's
near
how
the
that's
same
how
thing.
that's how it, you know, stays on the streets, because
It's
the
just
chemicals to make it get banned, and they just switch some molecules around and call it something else.
Yeah, but that's like really like weird.
Yeah.
Like if it's something entirely different than it was before.
Well, it's not entirely different. That's the thing. It's like they'll say, oh, you're not allowed to
It
have
could
this
be.
chemical. They'll switch
Dude.
one Well, just out of the nature of it, because you're wanting to do as little work as possible, so you change as little as possible to the formulate.
People are like
formulas so that you can
experiments.
call it something
Like
else.
these drug addicts
get
are
away
like
with it.
these drug addicts are experiments.
Sorry. Hey, Mike. You already did pick up?
Oh, the triple G's?
Yes.
Seriously, with what the fentanyl in this country comes from China, and then is smuggled through what, like Arizona or Minnesota or whatever. It's crazy, dude. Like, the fact that there was no border security, right? And then there's like all this fentanyl in America.
Yeah. Yeah, the fentanyl's pretty crazy, man. Persian pocket fentanyl. It's fucking dead real quick. You just have like a pound of it attached to a drone and sprinkle it over a city. I know I've said that before. Like, you
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I just think it's crazy that people think it's a political discussion. Like, is it that when like hundreds of people could die from
all
drugs
right.
that it's
So
a
we're
political
talking
discussion?
about the Persian pocket fence. Let's take things there to the next level of the Canadian euthanasia. Yes, the youth.
Oh,
in
so this
Asia.
is like when people are too old, like, oh,
No, it's just when the Canadian government feels like it, or you had a bad day.
yeah,
Maybe
so
you're a bit depressed.
it's
you stubbed your
assisted
toe.
suicide, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
and so now what's hilariously enough happening is that the assisted suicide drugs
I heard about this.
are going missing in vast quantities and showing up on the black market and random people. I'm just sitting there like, God damn, this shit doesn't even get you high.
They're like,
before
oh, now they're on the other internet.
yeah, so people are just buying them. People are just buying it.
And like
offing
human
themselves.
organ harvesting in
No,
China.
yeah, no, in Israel. No, in Canada.
No, I mean like is there a way that these people are like getting kidnapped
No,
and then
it's just people like legit faking scripts and buying it, or it's being sold on the frickin' corner, so. And I'm sitting there going, bro, there's
who is
plenty
it?
of.
Is it Justin Trudeau?
Yeah,
Who's
no,
like,
he's no longer there.
oh, he's not?
Yeah, what was he? Fidel Castro's kid? Frickin'
Or no, is it Netanyahu? Is that the guy from Canada?
No, that's Bibi from Israel.
Oh, okay.
There's
so
some,
there's some guy in Canada who was like the head
guy
of
in
Canada.
Canada now is a leftover from like the British banking system. I forget his name. But, you know, Trump sat there telling okay, we're going to take Canada over jokes because everybody thought it was funny, but it pissed off, you know, half of Canada. So they went and voted with some more fervor for a New World Order dirtbag member of the banking system, just like the guy they had before, Trudeau, Klaus Schwab, World Economic Forum, bright young leaders, frickin' graduate over there, right? But so, no, it's way beyond like hospice care and your doctor just stops paying attention to the morphine feed because you want to go.
Yeah.
Like,
I've heard about the assisted suicide, but I've also heard about in Canada how there were some wildfires.
I think it was called like compassionate care, and it's literally and it's literally like Soylent Green, wheel grandma, and there's nothing wrong with her. She just you know.
Well, that's so ridiculous and crazy, but it's like it doesn't surprise me, you know. Look at how in America 67% of people are on prescription drugs, and all these vaccines.
85.
No, it's 67.
No, it's not.
No, it's
67.
67.
It's like 75.
I've done my
It's
research.
It's more than.
It is 60.
that.
It's 67 to 70%, and people on prescription drugs.
85% of liberal women.
I read a book. I read more than one book about this, about how pharmaceuticals multiplied and expanded their advertising, and they put like 28 to 30% of their revenue back into advertising their drugs, while they just kept on pushing more drugs, like experimentally, in a way where they know that they haven't done the research.
And
for
that's
these.
why your mainstream media news channels are the way they are.
Yeah.
It's Pfizer.
Well,
George W. Bush.
When's the last time that you saw mainstream media exposing prescription drugs and vaccines? And like, hey, what's in the vaccine? No, it's all safe. It's all safe. Just put your mask on. By the way, you're on a list because you didn't get your vaccine. Oh, you got your vaccine? Well, now you're going to take supplements for the rest of your life. Like, this is literally what I went through and saw it happen. And, hey, who's going to stop it? Nobody.
Plenty of people. I mean, look at Bill Gates. He's banned from India. Paralyzing hundreds of thousands of kids.
If I were to look on
Look at how
ChatGPT,
funny that is after the fact. You know, I spent the better part of a decade
no,
screaming
but do you
about Bill
understand what
Gates.
it is? That there is actually nothing that will ever actually stop this from happening. Like, except for people taking supplements themselves.
Hey,
or like,
I think we are
whatever.
a step away from stopping it. Okay, like Bill Gates, Bill and Melinda Gates organization banned from India and a whole bunch of other countries around the world. Right then, the Epstein files dropped.
But they walked
and
free.
Frickin' Melinda
They
divorces
walked-
him before that,
they
and
walked
goes, "I
around.
didn't know my husband was doing all this stuff." Da, 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 da. Right?
No
so
way.
what's next?
I don't believe
What's
for
next
a
for
second.
Bill? Bill's gotta
no.
go hide somewhere in a
I
country
don't
with no
believe
extradition.
for 1 second that Bill Gates' wife was not a total terrorist. Okay?
Oh yeah, you think she
No.
was totally in on
No.
it?
They are all international terrorists who have some kind of agreement with whatever governments, okay? That is exactly what these people are, all the
Well,
way
what
through.
I'm saying is we are here, homie. We are at the starting line, right? So there's only one more step to take before we're crossing it into
Dude,
the
the only
base.
progress made is by the individual person who gets rid of this poison from their
All right,
body.
so we had one lady who was reading the Epstein files, find a guy in it that happened to live nearby who's a college professor, and she stood outside the university with a sign saying, "This dude is in the Epstein files, you gotta fire him, da 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 da," and he got
Can you
the
just do me a favor? You guys are right next to each other.
person fired.
Could you just not be screaming in conversation so everybody else can hear it, please?
Okay.
There's
Right,
children here and all that.
not even doing that loud, but so
Well, you can leave too.
We'll have a couple minutes. Okay.
don't go mess with the K2 smokers outside. But yeah, so she that's what needs to happen on a national level. She stood outside and she got him fired. It worked.
But she's still at a public status, do you understand?
What do you mean?
Okay. Where these people have public statuses, okay? If they say one thing that could expose the rest of the evil of the government?
No. What are you talking about? This is a random woman.
Oh, I thought you were saying Bill Gates' wife.
No, not Bill Gates' wife. No, just a random anybody with internet access. That's what I'm saying. Ah, yeah. Stood outside the college campus with a sign until the dude got fired. It only took like a couple of weeks or something like that. So that is the
Oh, I gotta get my phone.
possible justice on a national level without the system. You know, guys like that on paperwork, according to the United States court system, aren't allowed to have an IQ as high as mine while holding that position. I got a $137. I can't be a cop. I also took Ritalin.
Well, how is IQ calculated? I was pretty sure
I
like
don't know. It's just
100% of
It's just some
IQ
weird
tests are
lunacy
not
that
real.
the Supreme Court came up with. Yes, it's legal to have an IQ cap on cops. They might question orders too much if they were thinking about it very deeply.
It's not really that as much as like the federal government can't be charged for crimes because it's a literal like feudal proxy system.
Well, yeah, it is a corporation. You know, but that was the second.
That's
point
literally
that I
how
was
you
gonna
know
make.
the whole country is a
That's
freaking
literally
regime.
the second point that I was going to make is that is that on paper his only actual duty is to protect the banking system and companies and things like that. You know what I mean?
That's
They
kinda
don't
sad, isn't
actually have any real obligation to protect you as a person, right? You know, isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? Think about that. That is the problem with this country. Guy comes over here, hey, I'm talking about the Epstein files, dude. How they
Well, I was kind of loud though.
Yeah, you know what though? We're all kind of loud. It's kind of downtown. It's Worcester, you know.